Back to Washington, Dana. Hello.
Well, Bill, there are newly surfaced documents reviewed by Fox News Digital revealing another protective order filed against a suspected MS-13 gang member being held in El Salvador. Now, the filing says this from 2020, that Kilmar Abrego Garcia had threatened his wife, bragging that he could kill her and no one can do anything to him. Shannon Bream joins me now. It's wonderful to be here with you.
You too, my friend.
Secretary Rubio, I was going to say Senator, but now Secretary Rubio said this in the cabinet meeting about this case yesterday.
Have you been in touch with El Salvador about returning Abrego Garcia? Has a formal request from this administration been made?
Well, I would never tell you that. And you know who else I'll never tell? A judge. Because the conduct of our foreign policy belongs to the President of the United States and the executive branch, not some judge. So we will conduct foreign policy appropriately if we need to. But I'll never discuss it. And no one will ever make us discuss it because that's how foreign policy works.
Okay, so he's sticking to his guns there. What does this new information tell us, if anything?
It's really shocking. We knew already there were some domestic violence allegations that the wife then did not pursue. She didn't show up in court. But this is an additional filing, and it talks about not just her, and it's really upsetting, but also that she had indicated that there were acts of abuse, kicking, slapping, shoving, mental injury of a child, and detaining against the will. So it's a child, too. But she talked about that he dragged her by her hair, dragged her out of the car. He left her in the street. I mean, it's really disturbing stuff. She never followed through on it, and that's
not uncommon
in these cases. It does happen in these kinds of cases.
But she has changed her tune quite dramatically in saying he's a great father. I'm sure that the children do miss him. I'm sure that that's the case. But regardless of this new information, does it change the situation?
It doesn't change it legally, but what's interesting is it changes the conversation. I think it was Kellyanne Conway that was talking earlier. Is this the poster boy that Democrats want to put all of their effort behind their political capital? Do you want to expend it on this particular individual who has allegations of human trafficking, of MS-13 connections, all of those things? And listen, the president's, he has indicated a willingness to, okay, let's bring him back, let's try him, and then he could be deported again. So if push comes to shove and he's brought back here to the U.S., I don't think it will be for long.
Yeah, right. It'll be like a touch and then touch and go. All right, I wanted to ask you about this. The Supreme Court listened to this case yesterday about funding for a Catholic charter school. Want to play from Justice Kavanaugh. Listen to him here.
Our cases have made very clear you can't treat religious people and religious institutions and religious speech as second class in the United States. And when you have a program that's open to all comers, except religion. No, we can't do that. We can do everything else. That seems like rank discrimination against religion. And that's the concern. All the religious school is saying is don't exclude us on account of our religion.
How did you think this is going to go when they finally rule?
What's tricky about this is Justice Barrett recused because we think, she didn't publicly tell us, but we think because of some connection she had to a professor of law, an attorney who actually advised or helped this charter school in this case. But the question comes down to, that leaves us with a potential 4-4 tie. If that happens, the lower court decision stands, and that would be a loss for this charter school that says, in Oklahoma, you have all these charter schools, and some of them for very specific groups, Native American students and children in different groups. Why not allow us to have this school? Simply because we're religious in nature, we're a Catholic charter school, we shouldn't be excluded from this. So I think it's all going to come down to the Chief Justice. He had really tough questions.
It would be a huge change in America if this happens.
It would be, because if they say schools with some kind of religious focus can take part in the public charter school programs.
Amazing.
If it happens in Oklahoma, it can happen across the country.
Go all the way across the country. Amazing. Shannon Bream, great to see you. Great to see you. So
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.